Hey everyone, it's Kirk Mastin here with Mastin Labs, and today I'm going to be showing you the Founder Plus pack. These are the looks that I've developed out of our true film emulations from other packs, and these are looks that I use for my own personal work that deviate slightly from true film. In fact, these looks improve upon the films that I've studied for the last 10 years. There are 3 new looks in this pack based off of real film, and each of these looks has a muted version. So think of the Plus film as the main look. In this case, Ektar 100 Plus. This is Ektar 100, but with many refinements and things that I've changed to improve skin tones in particular. In addition to Ektar 100 Plus, we have a muted version. So as I scroll down and click on the muted version, you'll see that the image gets a little softer. And what's happening in the muted version is I've dialed back the micro contrast that you would see in most of our looks, most of our other packs. And this micro contrast comes from trying to emulate film exactly. By dialing it back, we get a slightly more digital look, but a softer look. So that's what the muted looks are for. So after Ektar 100 Plus and Ektar 100 Muted, we've got Fuji 400H Plus, which takes Fuji 400H and again improves the skin tones, gives you a higher starting warmth for the image, and also tames a little bit of some issues that we had in shadows. Then there's also the muted version, and then we've got Portra 160 Plus. This is a great neutral starting base for almost any image, and it's why I included it. So on this image, I'm going to be using Ektar 100 Muted, and here is before and after. And then on this photo that I shot many years ago, and I'm going to use the new Fuji 400H, my variant on it, and see how that looks. So here's Fuji 400H Plus. You can see it gives those nice ethereal skin tones, and then I'm going to make just a small temperature, tint, and exposure adjustment to dial it in. So we're following our normal workflow, very simple, and you can get just an absolutely beautiful result in just a few clicks. So here is before, after with Fuji 400H Plus, and then I'm going to use Strobe Soften, which is a tool that's present in all of our packs, which you can use for both strobe photography and for taming kind of extreme contrast differences. So we have a lot of backlighting here, and it's just that last little touch that just makes it really smooth. So here's before and after. On this next photo here, you can see I definitely shot it a little bit too cool. So I'm going to switch around my workflow here just a little bit, and I'm going to start with white balance just so that I can see what I'm working with. So I raised the temperature a little bit. I think it's a little bit overexposed. You can see his white suit jacket is a little bit too bright. I'm going to bring that down, and then I'm going to use, I think this photo calls for something kind of playful, so let's use Ektar 100 Plus. That looks great. I'm going to bring the exposure down just a little bit more, and I'm going to use lens correction. And there you go. Really nice before and after. And if this is a little too punchy for you, you can try the muted version. It just brings it down a little bit. On this photo, we've got a very high contrast range. They're under this tree. It's kind of dark. I'm going to do Fuji 400H Muted. And I'm picking muted because I want to try to tame that contrast right out of the gate, and I want it to be easier to edit going forward. So I'm going to do Fuji 400H Muted, increase the exposure just a little bit, and I think the white balance looks great. I don't think there's anything else I would do. So here's before and after. In fact, maybe I would even go a little bit higher exposure because we still are retaining detail back in the field. So before and after. So on this indoor engagement in this arboretum in Seattle, We've got really nice soft light, but there is a little bit of a golden glow, and then these really cool agave plants. And I think this is perfect for, well, let's see how it looks. Ektar 100 plus, maybe it's a little bit too much for this scene. Muted looks really, really good. Fuji 400H, that looks pretty good. I think this kind of calls for a moodier look, so we're going to do Portra 160 muted. I'm going to bring up the exposure just a little bit, increase the temperature just a little bit, and you can see there's this really nice smooth roll off in the highlights and shadows all the way through the image. It's just kind of, you know, silky smooth. It looks amazing. This is before and this is after. I really like that one. All right, golf courses. Love them or hate them. I love to play on them. I hate to shoot on them because you've got this kind of wild green going on, this kind of like Gatorade green. It can be kind of difficult, even though the subject matter is really beautiful, you know, very sophisticated. This green kind of throws things off. So let's do Fuji 400H. See how that goes. So I'm going to apply Fuji 400H plus. I'm going to go to temperature, increase the temperature just a little bit, and you just have a really nice look here. Let's see how Ektar would have handled this. A little bit brighter green. Some people really love that Ektar look for everything, but I think Fuji 400H Plus looks great on here, and the green is pretty tame. Would I do anything else to this photo? I don't know. You could use one of our newer AI tools like Light and Area Assist if you want to kind of give it even a lighter and airier look. That looks really good actually. And then I'm going to go grab a content aware healing brush, and I'm just going to get these like little pothole things out of here. And let's get that one too. Here's your before and after. Piece of cake, easy peasy. Look how beautiful the skin tones are on Fuji 400H muted. They're amazing. Or I mean plus. Sorry, my bad. Look how nice the skin tones are on Fuji 400H plus. They're beautiful. They're a little bit less magenta than the original Fuji 400H, but they've got that really nice, beautiful glow. All right, let's move inside. So we've got a indoor, getting ready photo. I don't know how many of these I've taken in my life. They can be good or bad. It really depends on the quality of light and having a clean background. But I really like this photo. It's just kind of like the quintessential getting ready photo for me. And in this situation, let's see, do we want kind of the bolder color of Ektar, or do we want something a little more muted? I think we should go again for Fuji 400H muted. Kind of brings down the contrast in this high contrast situation. So I applied Fuji 400H muted. I'm going to increase the temperature just a little bit higher exposure. And I've been using the skin smoothing tool all the time when I'm shooting in any kind of high contrast situation. This is a new AI tool that all of our packs now contain. And just by applying skin smooth, we're going to kind of finish off the last little part of this. And now it just looks amazing. You can control skin smoothing by going up to the adjustment panel up here, the amount slider, and you can dial it in. So this is at 200% and this is at nothing. I love this. It really saves a lot of time. So I'm going to turn it up to like probably 125, somewhere around there. Here's before and after. And all of our new tools really, really work well in conjunction with our new looks. And again, I mean, the skin tones are just absolutely fantastic. It was just so freeing to be able to go beyond the original films and really try to use my knowledge to improve them, to make my life easier. And I'm really happy to share that with you all. Okay, this photo is a little bit overexposed, so I'm going to just start by bringing that down. I am not a perfect photographer by any means. There's really nice blue in the sky, and then their skin is very warm. I think Ektar could look really cool here. So, well, but let's explore. That's pretty moody. Actually, that looks pretty good too. Gosh, it's really tough to decide. I'm going to go with, I'm on Fuji 400H today, so I love what it's doing with the sky and their skin. So Fuji 400H Plus, we've already got the exposure down. I can play with temperature to see if I want to bring out more of the sky or more of their skin tone. Since this is Fuji 400H Plus, I'm going to focus on a little bit cooler skin tones, and that looks beautiful. So here's before and after. I could also do the muted version if you want to just soften it up. But in this case, I like my Fuji 400H Plus more. This is one of my favorite bridal portraits that I had done in my career. This was at the Arctic Hotel in downtown Seattle. And I just love the play of the three figures in this and the symmetry. We've got the two lights on either side, the two kind of suitcase dressers, the two portraits, and then she's in the middle with this beautiful light. A photo like this, I think, would look, again, really good with probably... Yeah, I think Portra 160 muted is just built for this. Portra 160, again, is one of my favorite kind of neutral starting points. It's great for, studio work, a dark and moody look if you bring the exposure way down. But the newer Portra 160 Plus and the Portra 160 muted that I've evolved from Portra 160 is even better in so many ways. It's got a little more saturation. It's got a rebalancing of the tone curve, but it still kind of captures the essence and spirit of Portra 160, and I love how it looks in this photo. So that was basically a one-click edit. It really depends on, the original image had pretty good exposure and a neutral white balance, so you can get a one-click kind of beautiful, moody edit. And I really love Portra 160. I'm loving it more than I thought I would. I'm kind of just a Ektar and Fuji 400H fanboy, and then when I made my own versions, I was really stuck to those. But man, Portra 160 just comes in clutch in the right situation, and I love it on this photo. Would I do anything else? Maybe lens correction. Yeah, that's what I would do. Very simple. A good edit is like ice cream. It's very, very easy to ruin it, to melt it by doing too much. So you want to just be gentle, do as little as possible, and keep that really beautiful, natural look. That's my opinion. Okay, same bride, just outside. They're just such a sophisticated looking couple. I love fall in Seattle with the leaves turning. And these colors, I think, would look really, really good again with Portra 160. This time I'm not going to do the muted. I want them to be able to stand out from the background. And I'm just going to warm it up a little bit. Going to straighten this out because I can't really do crooked photos. And yeah, that's it. Just very simple. Temperature, exposure, Portra 160 Plus. There's the muted. I don't think it suits this. I like that little bit of pop. Lots of versatility. You can do either one. It's going to look amazing. Before, after, nice, natural, true to life color. And on this image, I just really want the red and the green of this to pop. So I'm going to do Ektar 100 Plus, and it just looks amazing. I don't think I need to do anything else. Again, this is a case of having just shot the right white balance, the right exposure right off the bat. Sometimes people ask, do I need to shoot underexposed, overexposed, warmer, cooler, whatever? And I will say this, and I'll say this to the end of time, just shoot normal. Shoot normal. Shoot normal, and it's gonna work out. And if you didn't shoot normal, like normal meaning like neutral white balance, neutral exposure, that's okay. It's a raw file. You can fix it up here. But if you're looking for that magical one-click, edit, the only way to get it is to shoot it neutral. And that's okay if you don't. It doesn't matter. So here is before, here's after, and it just looks amazing. Again, if you want to see what the original Ektar looked like, we can just kind of cruise over to it and just watch what happens to their skin tones. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, there's a reason Ektar is so popular, but it's just a little too much sometimes. And it's just, Ektar 100 plus really tones that down and solves a lot of problems. It just looks the most natural true to color look that I've ever made. Fuji 400H plus is not, nothing to sneeze at either. It's really nice. It tones down those greens. So if you're looking back in here, it really tones them down. And again, it's just a beautiful true to color look. I don't know how anyone could go wrong with these looks that I've kind of kept for myself. I don't know how you could go wrong. They're just so easy to use, and I feel kind of bad that I never shared them with anyone, but I just didn't want to steer off of the course that we've done for almost 10 years, which is make things that look exactly like film, come hell or high water, with all the good and bad in film. And it's really nice to have a way to express these films in ways that I think are even, sometimes in many ways, better than the original. Okay, got 3 left. For this image, let's do, Ektar 100 muted. And I'm going to warm it up just a little bit. And add just a tiny bit. I mean, did I have to add any green? Not really. Maybe 1 point of towards the tint slider towards green. There's before and after with Ektar 100 muted. If you were to try to do this with normal Ektar, it looks good, but man, it's kind of a punch to the eyeballs with skin tones. It's not a bad look, the original Ektar, but the muted one is pretty nice. For comparison, we've got Fuji 400H plus, a little more light and airy look. Doesn't have the crunchiness of even the muted Ektar. It kind of opens it up, but I like the drama and feeling of Ektar 100 muted. Detail photos don't really get that much attention in editing, but my background is in wedding photography, and they were really important to me, and they still are very important to me in getting published and in filling out kind of an album to make the complete story. So I've really tried hard to make all of the plus and muted looks work really well with these detail shots. So let's do Fuji 400H plus, or we could do Ektar. I think the plus one looks really nice. Increase the temperature just a little bit and add just a tiny bit of green. There we go. Simple. Before and after. And here's our last photo. Instead of doing Fuji 400H plus, I'm going to use Ektar of all things on a detail photo. Let's do Ektar muted. Now that Ektar has, its tones are blending a little bit with Fuji 400H, I'm taking kind of the best of both worlds in the new Ektar. It really works well with detail shots too. So you got these little, these cream tones, these really light colors. It works really nicely, and it takes very little adjustment. It just brings it all out. It's great. I'm going to use lens correction just to kind of even out the lighting from top to bottom. And there you have it. Before and after. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. These looks are going to make 2023 so much easier for you. And you're just getting the best of the best. This is the best of my film knowledge, making what I think are the most accurate film presets in the world for 10 years, plus all of my little tweaks that I felt that these original films should have to be even better. So you're getting both, getting a lot of options. The new muted looks are going to be fantastic for a lot of photographers that struggle with either contrasty images or they've got some kind of extra contrasty sensor they're using. It's really going to help you out. So check it out. I hope you really love it, and I cannot wait to see what you do with these new presets. So have a great day and happy editing.